Alright, how's it going everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be talking about the Bill Burr situation. For those who don't know who Bill Burr is, he's one of the most successful and praised comedians over the last 2 decades. He's a giant comedian. And recently, he decided to throw his reputation into a frying pan and cook it. So recently there was a comedy festival out in Saudi Arabia. You might be thinking, oh shit, that sounds kind of cool. Well, kinda. This was a comedy festival set up by the Saudi Arabian government, and if you know anything about the Saudi Arabian government, you'll know that they do some pretty questionable things. And I actually had to educate myself on the Saudi Arabian government practices with this whole comedy situation thing that was going down. But what I learned about them was wild, to say the least. The Saudi Arabian government is doing a lot of stuff that seems cool on the surface, like throwing money at sports and concerts and now comedy festivals. But behind the scenes, this government's doing a lot of wild stuff that I honestly think is wrong, including silencing and torturing journalists who speak out against them. Women still don't have full freedom out there. Like, I believe they were just allowed to start driving, which I find crazy. Also, being gay in Saudi Arabia is a crime. It's literally illegal, and it can get you arrested, which is diabolical. There's just a whole lot of crazy shit that this government is doing behind the scenes, and the whole purpose of this comedy festival is to distract from the bad stuff and make you think that it's a chill country, because they got a big fun comedy festival. It's just to prop up their image and make it seem like it's a great place, and they're trying to essentially image wash their reputation by paying celebrities and influencers to perform there like circus clowns so the world forgets about all the other stuff they're doing. So it's just wild. At first, when I heard about the comedy festival, I was hearing other people get mad about it, and I was just thinking to myself, like, yo, what's the problem? Why are people getting mad at a comedy festival? But when you dive into the politics of it, it makes sense why people are mad at it, because this country is literally just trying to do a bunch of shady shit on the low while using a comedy festival to make it seem like to the rest of the world that Saudi Arabia is a great place to live, when that's clearly not the case. If there's laws around gay people being illegal, as well as women not having full freedom, that just doesn't sound like a great place to live to me, in my opinion. I'm sure the scenery's nice out there, but yeah, in terms of the laws, I don't know. Kind of fucked. Anyways, one of the comedians that showed up to this festival was no other than Mr. Bill Burr, which, if you are a fan of Bill Burr, it's disappointing, because this dude has spent his entire career shitting on billionaires. He had so many bits where he would speak out against evil billionaire practices and be very harsh and critical towards billionaires.
This is so, the amount of people that are struggling out there because of these fucking billionaires. It's so fucking, these fucking billionaires, they need to be put down. You know, like fucking rabid dogs. They're like rabid with fucking greed and just going out and just dividing everybody.
They're horrible, heartless people. And then for some reason, if you say that, you're like a communist, and then we're in bed with the Russians. I don't get any of it. None of it makes sense. And then they try to politicize everything you say, and it's just like, I don't know, shouldn't you pay your workers?
I love that fucking CEOs are fucking afraid right now. You should be. By and large, you're all a bunch of selfish, greedy fucking pieces of shit, and a lot of you are mass murderers. You just don't pull the trigger.
Like, how does a CEO take a 8-figure bonus and none of your employees have dental insurance? They can't even go out and get a filling. There's these nerd billionaires out there saying, I want my employees to come to work terrified, go to bed terrified, wake up terrified.
They were exploited by the super rich cunts that are not patriots in this country. They're not. They're pieces of shit.
My take is that when they get rid of all the illegals in this country, white billionaires will then magically become generous and start paying people a living wage because they inadvertently got rid of their excuse as to why they're not paying people.
I don't know. I don't understand that. But this whole like heartless way that they treat workers,
I agree,
it's got to stop. It has to stop.
So yeah, this guy has made it a mission to make his audience know that he hates billionaires and he's happy that they're afraid and stuff like that. And what does he do after he speaks out about it? He goes and takes money from them. It just makes Bill Burr look like a complete hypocrite, and it's hard for me to take him serious as a comedian anymore when he himself is now the joke. Like, he's everything he jokes about now. You know what I'm saying? He'll criticize them for his comedy set, but what happens when a billionaire comes knocking at his door with some money for him? What does he do? He doesn't criticize them. He performs for them. So, yeah, it's just bad for Bill Burr right now. I don't know what's gonna happen to his career, honestly, but I'm probably tuning out at this point just because that is goofy as fuck. fuck. The flip-flop of criticizing billionaires and then taking money from them is just insane. Authenticity and integrity is something I value a lot with the comedians I watch, and to see him throw his integrity away is just cringe, bro. Like, I'm disappointed in dude. I didn't think he would stoop this low, but he did. The literal host of the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival is a billionaire and works for the government as an advisor. And you guys know what the Saudi Arabian government's doing. I explained it earlier. I believe they're also doing public executions as well, which is crazy. I think they recorded like a record high of 300 public executions over the last year. So essentially, to put it lightly and shortly, well, not lightly, but definitely shortly, Bill Burr accepted blood money from the Saudi Arabian government for a comedy set for them. And a lot of it too. And yeah, it's just completely hypocritical. This is the comedian who is speaking out and making jokes about people who had blood money, aka billionaires, and right when he comes face to face with a billionaire with blood money, he just takes it. He just takes the blood money and does his little performance for them. And I know there might be some people that are gonna comment, hey man, what's your problem with a comedian taking money? One, because it's blood money, duh. And two, he already is a millionaire. Like, what the f does he need another million for, dog? Especially when you're not looking into the million you're receiving and who you're receiving it from. It's just super irresponsible and super hypocritical. And it just shows that he doesn't actually care about the stuff that billionaires are doing. He just wanted to appeal to those people who do care by making a joke about billionaires for his comedy bit, and to probably make people think that he's on their side, when later on down the road he just backdoors that base of his by taking this blood money from these Saudi officials. And I am that base, bro. I'm sure y'all can tell at this point, I was a Bill Burr fan, man. I would watch his shit, and overall, like, part of me feels betrayed because it's like, damn, he said all this about billionaires and then he went to go take money from one. But another part of me is like not surprised, because at the end of the day, he's not like a political activist or anything. He's just a comedian, so he's not gonna be the smartest, most intellectual person who is able to pay attention to everything going on, especially in foreign countries. And also, there was like a ton of other comedians that pulled up to this festival and were invited to perform, so a ton of them took blood money. But I guess I was just most surprised to see Bill Burr there, especially once I learned about the nature of the government out in Saudi Arabia and what their practices are, and the fact that they're hosting this comedy set and he's taking money from them. I just got really disappointed once I learned all the context to it. But yeah, after this whole Bill Burr situation blew up, he actually responded to it and somehow made it worse.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 6, 2025. What's going on? How are ya? Oh, Jesus, how's it going in your neck of the woods there? It's not going so good in my neck of the woods. I'll tell you that. The sanctimonious is sanctimonian. Key word on the monian. Oh, Jesus. All right, here's the deal. You guys are asking me, obviously, a ton of questions about the absolute controversy, all right? Here's the deal. I have no problem answering any of them. The problem I have is after I answer them, it all gets clipped. And then once it gets clipped, then the lies start getting told, or they start shaping it and making it this and making it that. So all I'm doing is just throwing another log on the fire, and then they can make more money. No, I'm sorry. Well, no, because they care so much. That's right. Sorry, not because they're just making money. But I do have to tell you, this is fascinating because I've never been in the middle of one of these fucking things. And my whole life when I watch the news, not every fucking news stories, but there's been a lot of shit where you watch it going like, I don't know, kind of seems like that kind of fucking... So to finally be in the middle of it, and the level of like straight up lies is just, it's wild. And I'll be honest with you, I've been off the internet for like a fucking month, but just the shit people have been sent. It's funny, you get off the internet and people still send you shit. So like these stories of like there was no women there, he just performed to the Royals. By the time they're done with this shit, they're gonna say I went over there and did a one-on-one show in a fucking tent, staring at my toes, and then I left for the head fucking guy, whoever the hell it is over there, right?
So yeah, this clip just comes off as somebody who knows they did something wrong but can't admit it. He brings up how there's people telling him that women weren't at the festival. I don't know who was saying that, but Yeah, I don't know what the point of this fucking response was, if I'm being real. He didn't even address the problem, which was that he was taking blood money from the Saudi Arabian government to perform a comedy set for them after criticizing billionaires nonstop over the years. But instead, in the beginning of his response, he chooses to focus in on the people who are claiming that there were no women at the festival, which is obviously false. Like, I'm sure there was women there, but it still doesn't disprove the fact that women still don't have full freedom out there, and that the Saudi Arabian government is wrong for that, and that they're also committing a ton of other wrongdoings, like arresting gay people for being gay. Like, he can't admit that what he did was wrong. The reason why he's getting backlash is because he accepted money from a corrupt government. That's what he did wrong. And they're using his performance and the other comedians' performances as a way to make their country look like good and chill, and they're using this performance as a way to tell the world, hey, look guys, we have Bill Burr, Kevin Hart, and Dave Chappelle coming over here because we're so chill. But don't talk bad about our government, because we might arrest you and maybe kill you. It's just not a chill country if we're talking about the laws. And the fact that the government tried to use this comedy festival as a PR damage control type event is just wild to me. And the fact that Bill Burr accepted money to be a part of this is also just disappointing and pretty wild to me. But Bill Burr also tries to spin this as if he's making progress for the country of Saudi Arabia through his performance, which was also wild.
Once again, I performed in an arena over there in the round. There was 8,000 people at the show. Okay? It was citizens. And then they had diplomats sitting down front in a nerve-wracking way for the performer to make sure that, you know, you didn't talk about the 2 or 3 things that they said that they negotiated down to not talk about. Once again, as I said before, whoever put together the comedy festival and everything, what it did for freedom of speech over there, because like before it started, you couldn't talk about all of this stuff, and then they whittled it down to just that. And that is how, you know, if you truly care about stuff like that, you gradually move towards something more positive. All right.
So Bill Burr said his performance was an act of progress for the Saudi Arabians, but his requirements to perform required the same laws and compliances that they've been enforcing onto their citizens. They arrest journalists for speaking badly about their government, and Bill Burr can't speak badly about the government during his comedy set because of the rules they gave him to perform. So where's the progress? I'm confused in how this is moving Saudi Arabia forward to free speech when he has to abide by the same laws that everybody else in Saudi Arabia did. I just don't get it. If anybody can explain that part to me down in the comments, it'd be much appreciated, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, that's all I really had to say about this. I'm just disappointed, and yeah, I'm on the lookout for a new favorite comedian, so if you have any others that you'd like to recommend down in the comments below, definitely recommend them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I love seeing them, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, and if y'all want to see more content like this in the future, then feel free to subscribe. And yeah, with that all being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure y'all are staying safe, hydrated, and healthy, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.